Hello everyone. Happy Tuesday. Thank you for joining me here tonight. We are continuing on the Bumblebee embroidery. We just got started on it last night and we'll be stitching some more today. So thank you for joining me. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for the beginning crafter. And I am here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. That's 9:30 Eastern and 6:30 Pacific, and I'm here for about an hour and we work on a project, and I work on projects from beginning to end, so you can be part of the whole process along the way. You can make it with me or just come and chit chat. So welcome to the family, everyone. Thank you for joining me here. So again, tonight, you guys, continuing the Be Kind Bumblebee. Here it is on, we traced it last night with our blue water-soluble marker. Here's a picture of it on the iPad here. I'm using this as the pattern here. I'm using my iPad to view the pattern. So I got all the colors there. I'll show you a little bit more of that. I think the bundles may be sold out now. I may be able to list one more tomorrow when I get to the office. We'll see how that goes. I'll let you know. And the pattern, though, is still available. So the pattern, the digital printable downloadable pattern, is available till the end of the month. So this is only for the month. It's the embroidery of the month. We will get a new one for April. So that one is available now, and that's actually what I'm going to show you on my computer here. That's what I'm using to work off of. So there we go. Oh, and you guys, I don't know if you saw, I sent an email out this afternoon, and I posted it in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group, but I am doing a flash sale for our lion embroidery kit. It is 50% off just tomorrow through noon. I figured I'm going to the warehouse, the office tomorrow to ship some things, so I thought, since I'm going to be over there and I don't know how often I'm going to get there after this, I thought I'd offer that to you guys too if you want another super inexpensive embroidery kit. It's half off the lion through tomorrow noonish Central Time. So awesome, you guys. Thank you, everyone who purchased that. That's really helpful. I appreciate it a ton. And those I'll pack them up while I'm at the office tomorrow. And just, again, so you guys know, I see not a person from here to the office. So my helpers they're off at home, so they're not coming in. And I just drive by myself. John might come, and I open the door with a tissue or a Clorox bleach thingy, and then it is just me there. And even with the packages, I don't have any interaction with anybody either. So we are still quarantining ourselves, and I'm sure all of you are as well. So that's the plan. I just wanted you to know that even though I'm going to the office, I'm not actually interacting with people. You are my people. This is my daily interaction with people. So, all right, I'm going to flip you guys around and we'll get started on our little bee embroidery for the night. Okay. Oh, just to start out, so here I have my iPad, and I have the digital pattern downloaded. I mean, I have it kind of zoomed. It zooms it in automatically on the iPad here. You can print it, obviously. I just kind of like keeping it on my screen here. This works totally fine for me. So here's what the finished one will kind of look like. Today, I'm hoping we do all of these. So we'll quickly be able to finish this last wing, and then I think we'll work on this black part here, and then we'll work on this chain stitching. I'm excited for that part. All right, then if we go ahead in the pattern, there's a little close-up there. He's going to be cute. Right here, this is what I want to have. This is the stitch and color guide area. So this is going to tell me what stitches go where, what colors I need to do, and that's the deal. And yeah, and the colors. Oh, I said that. The stitches and the colors. So that is my guide for tonight here. So I'm going to be doing these, and we'll be doing the back stitches for all that, and then these big fat stitches, that's my chain stitch. So all right, I'm going to head over here now that I have that open, and we will be able to get stitching for the night. Okay, let's get situated. All right, there we are. So last night we were able to get the little wings just about done. We got it all transferred. So I traced this from the pattern. So I printed out the page in the pattern. That's the Trace Me pattern. And then I used my water-soluble marker here last night to trace it. I did use a light table, but you could do this against a window as well, totally easily. I taped it. I used some painter's tape and taped the pattern and then the fabric to the light table. Or like I said, you could do a window, and that will work. So that didn't take that long at all. That took about 20 minutes to trace, and with me yammering on and stuff too. So, all right, let's continue with this blue. So I ran out of blue, so I'm gonna this is what came with the bundle. You can use whatever colors you like, but I'm just gonna untwist all these colors at once. Grab my 24 inches or so, and then I'm just going to take the blue out of there. It's kind of easier to just unravel all these at once. Oh, Catherine, you worked on a hashtag quilt that you started 10 years ago. Nice! So this is the time that we're all going to finish all of the projects, right? All right, so I'm going to separate these into 3 strands. We talked about the different strand thicknesses last night. So here's kind of a guide. Embroidery floss is really easy to take strands out, and that's on purpose because they want to give the designers, or us, the stitchers, the ability to use however thick a line of stitches we want. So like here, if we need a really thin line of stitches, I'm just using 1 strand here. If we need a really fat, thick line of stitches, here's all 6 strands. That's as if I didn't separate them at all. I'm going to do the 3 stitches. And then obviously this is all back stitch. If you use a different type of stitch, you can make it thicker, like we'll do with the chain stitch around here. Do I ever just want to, Amy's asking, do I ever want to just keep going when I shut the live off? I do, for sure. All right, I'm going to separate these 3 strands. My husband will attest to that. I could be so tired, and during the day, I could have gone to bed at 6 p.m. or whatever. But while I'm doing this, I'm all ready to go. And then right after, I have so much energy, it's actually kind of hard for me to fall asleep. So I do want to keep going, especially when we get so close to finishing something. But you know what? I'm so okay with it though now. I didn't always used to be okay with stopping projects in the middle, but I've become so consistent with that. This is the time of day that I'm working on this project that I don't feel so bad anymore just leaving a project in the middle of it, because I know that this is the time that I will be working on it again. So I know that time's coming up again. So it's not like I have that panic of oh, I want to get this done. So that's been helpful. The consistency has been super duper helpful with that. But and actually, because we're here for an hour, that's about an hour of crafting. I mean, that's about time to stretch and move around again. Anyway, so that's good. But yep, always, I never want to stop. Never ever want to stop. Always making stuff. But that kind of brings up, so this weekend, I still don't have this planned, but I will be sure to notify everyone. I'll post this on Facebook, and I'll post this in an email. But I want to do a YouTube live. I don't know, it's going to be Saturday, but I'm not quite sure what time yet. But I want to do one of these embroidery projects from beginning to end. So the whole entire thing. Or maybe we'll just take a section to do or something. But I want to do all the way through. So instead of dividing it up into days or, weeks like how we are, or days, I guess. Days, we transferred yesterday, we're stitching today. I want to do it all at once. So that will be several hours. So I'm thinking Saturday we'll have like a long, probably a 4-hour-ish stitch along on YouTube Live, assuming technology works, etc. But that's my plan. I'm going to put together a little how-to YouTube of how to go on live and how to comment, and when you'll find me and kind of what project we'll be working on, and all that. So I'll be posting that once I figure that out. It probably won't be till Thursday or something. Oh yes, so we should add a stretch time for sure. I think you're right. That's a great idea. Little intermission or something. Little stretch time. I like that. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out what design we should do. I was thinking maybe we do the bunny, but now I'm thinking maybe we do one of the free patterns, because then someone can download it right away and we can work on it. So that's the plan. Alrighty. That's the plan, is that I don't know quite what the plan is yet. But the plan is something on Saturday. We'll be on YouTube Live on Penguin and Fish Movies is where I am on YouTube. We did a little test, a few days ago for YouTube. So I think we got it kind of figured. Yeah, we could do the squirrel. Maybe I put the squirrel on the website so other people can grab that for free, and then we can stitch that. That would actually probably be a really great short little piece that we can kind of play around with. Yep. Why don't we do the squirrel? We'll do the squirrel. Oh, coffee break. Yes. If I do it during the day, then I can have coffee. Oh, that would be good. That'd be good, Debbie. All right. And while we are yammering, I finished up that last little wing here. So, all right, I'm going to weave in the ends, and then next up, I think I'm going to do this black area here. Kind of like how I said last night, I want this circle, those chain stitches for these circles, I want them to feel on top of all the other stitches, so I want to make sure I'm doing all the other stitches first. So let's do that. Yeah, I know there's tons of sewing stuff getting canceled. I'm just grateful that, I have all you guys here to hang out with me, and so I have my people interaction and my craft time for the day here with you guys, so that's awesome. I'm happy that all of you are here for sure. All right, so wove in those stitches. We have a little bit of thread left. I will save it in case we want to use that later. Oh, Jenna, what happened? I missed it. Okay, next up are these little lines, and they are black, so black stitches. And I'm going to, at the same time, remember we made this toe catcher last night because we just jumped from this wing to this wing. I'm going to try and grab those stitches, or I'm going to try to attach this to the fabric, really, by putting stitches around it as I do the black, because it's spread right across there. Oh, someone was asking about the squirrel. So I think that's a good idea. Why don't we do the squirrel? I will post later this week the squirrel, that free squirrel pattern that I sent a couple days ago in an email. I will post that on penguinandfish.com for free. Oh, maybe tomorrow. It's all just, oh gosh, maybe not tomorrow. I'm going to be at the office. But maybe, hopefully by Thursday. I'll post that for free so it can be downloaded and then printed if you guys have a printer at home, and we can stitch it. I want to do a live stitch along on Saturday. So again, I'm not quite sure of the time yet. You guys are hearing all about it here first before I have things figured out. You need to hear my brain. My brain talk out loud and have ideas when I'm here. So sometime on Saturday, yeah, I think we will stitch that squirrel. It'll be a free pattern. We'll stitch that squirrel live on YouTube. So I'm going to start doing YouTube lives, or I want to give it a try. And we'll give it a try starting this Saturday and see how it goes. And you should be able to comment and everything on there, just like how we are here. I mean, it might be a little bit different, but you should still be able to interact with each other and comment on things. And see the comments afterwards. All right, I'm going to just weave in this in the end of one of these wings that are already here, so I don't have to do it in a way knot. And the other thing is I'll try and put some instructions on how YouTube works and everything, and how you can comment and how to set all that up beforehand as well. And I'll get those instructions out. I'll send them through email, and I'll also put it on Facebook and stuff, so hopefully you don't miss how to do that. Now, though, if you wanted to go to Penguin and Fish Movies on YouTube, so Penguin and Fish Movies, if you do a search for that, or just search for Penguin and Fish, one of my videos will probably come up, or just even anything what we're working on, some sort of combination of our projects and Penguin and Fish, you should find my videos and my page. If you click the red subscribe button, and then also there's a little bell button, that's the notification button. So you'll be notified, like you'll be emailed, or however you set that up, I guess. You'll be emailed when I'm live on YouTube if you click both those things, the subscribe and the little bell. And then you'll know when I'm live. I'll also kind of set up a little, I think I can set up like a, hey, we're coming at this time and date thing, so you can get that emailed to you as well, I think, if you're a subscriber. So I will, again, I'm just kind of learning it too, so I will check into that, and we will do that live stitch along from beginning to end of that free squirrel pattern, and I'll post that free squirrel pattern again. I'll post it on the website, and I'll send an email with it in, and we will stitch that on Saturday. I think that'll be really fun. Beginning to end, we'll do the whole thing. We'll transfer it again, like how we did here. Maybe we can even figure out a way to transfer it from an iPad or something, kind of like how we were thinking about it yesterday. Like, oh, I wonder how we'd do that without, moving it around and stuff. But that might be kind of fun, because I know not everyone has a printer, and no one's going to be going to a place that has a printer, so if we can figure out how to get it right off of the screen, that would be amazing. So I'll think about that a little bit more, and if you guys have any ideas, let me know, but maybe we'll do it that way, just straight from the iPad screen, getting it onto fabric, and away we go. But yeah, so Saturday, I'll have to work out what time yet, but chances are it will be like a 3 to 4 hour live. Again, this assumes everything works fine, but it should. There's no reason it shouldn't. You might see us do a little test beforehand again. And I love when you guys jump into that, because it helps me know if things are working. But yeah, so I will send information out on that later this week once I get it all together. All right, I'm doing these vertical stitches on the bee first, and I'm doing them in a way where I capture this thread behind me. Oh, please, not early. Yeah, I mean, let me know, you guys, in the crafters group, if there's any time that you prefer. It'll probably be afternoonish. It probably won't be late in the evening like this. But I think that'll be fun. It'll be fun, fun, fun. Yes, does the YouTube have that two-tone brown fish for the logo? Yep, that's me, Amy. Yep, that's mine. So Penguin and Fish Movies. Yeah, if you go there, then you can see all the videos. Like you'll see last night's video and all that there. But yeah, then we'll have to break out the bin of scrap floss and see what we got going on in there. What would make a good squirrel? That would be kind of fun. I was thinking this. You could even make him. You could redesign it so he's holding a little toilet paper. So the squirrel's hoarding the toilet paper instead of his little nuts there. All right, I'm going over the line now, and what I'm doing here is I'm trying not to come up at one of these like vertical points. I'm trying to come up next to it so I can cross over it and kind of basically cover up the end points. See, I've covered them up with this stitch. I just think it's a nice, kind of clean way to do it. And I like that effect. So that's what the same effect I'm going to get by doing this body, those stitches last, is I'm going to get that covering up effect. Oh yes, so that would be good a little bit later. That's right, because you know all our Aussie friends and other overseas buddies, you know, that's a good plan. So I will check. I'll do some time looking. I think I've done the work on this before. I just have to remember what it was. But I will. I'll try and find a time that is a time when people are most likely awake all over the place. So it might be morningish for Australia, and kind of maybe late afternoon. So let's assume it's some form of that. But I'll get hard times for that as soon as I sit down and figure it all out. But yeah, so that'll be fun. I'm super excited now. Yes, that squirrel will be neat. Maybe I'll try and draw up a couple little extra things that he could be holding beforehand. That'd be kind of fun. Then you can put whatever you want in his hands. Oh, silly. All right, I think I'm going to have just enough floss to get myself back here, this line up here. So that's kind of fun. I'll have just enough floss to do these stripes because I have that other piece ready to go. So we'll be able to do that bottom one. I think we'll be able to stitch this bottom one in a way that will conserve our floss a little bit more because I won't have to cover up that other thread that I jumped over. All right, I'm liking this little feller. So, and you can stitch this however you want. You could fill this entire black part in if you wanted. You could only stitch these top and bottom little lines, whatever you want to do for this. This is totally up for grabs. That's why I like embroidery. It's so flexible. All right. Lots of nuts he's hoarding so the other squirrels can't get any. I know, right? Silly squirrel. If you guys aren't sure what we're talking about, I sent a free squirrel embroidery pattern out, I don't know, last week or something. I don't know. I can't tell the days anymore, but I think it was last week. And it was a free pattern, and I sent it out in an email. I will re-release that, and I'll put it on the website as well, so you'll have time to download it and everything for our Saturday stitch along. And again, I'm figuring out this stitch along as we're talking about it here. Like we literally just decided it would be that squirrel. So I will get real information out to you guys, before Saturday. And I'll do that on Facebook and in an email. All right, right, I'm just weaving in the ends here. Oop, lost my needle. I think I'm going to start another piece of floss because I don't have much on this black anymore. All right. So I'm going to start a new piece, and in theory, I don't have any stitches to weave in the back near this. So I could start another away knot, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to weave in the backs of these stitches and just kind of jump down here. I think it follows the line enough that I don't think you'll see the black from the front at all if I do that. So I think I'm going to just weave in these stitches and jump down there to start my next section. Oh, it still looks good on the back though, doesn't it? So I've been weaving in all my stitches. I haven't been tying knots, and look how clean and pretty that looks still, even with weaving in the ends. I mean, I could have woven those ends in somewhere else, or I could have just done a way knot with every new color. But yeah, I mean, if this was the back of a tea towel, so far it would look, you know, almost as nice as the front, I think. Oh, so Kathy, I sent you a message about that. It looks like everything's fine on my end for those emails. Like they're going out. They must just be going to spam still. Like there's some sort of spam issue there. But yes, I will be putting it on the website as well and letting everyone know. Yeah, then other people can do it as well. Oh, Pat, that's good that you gave that a go, though. I think thread painting is all about lots and lots of practice. So thread painting is kind of doing a lot of long and short stitches over a big area, and you can do like gradients and other stuff, but that takes a lot of practice, I think, just to get it just right. But I think we should play with that a little bit again sometime, I think. And it takes ages and ages and ages and ages, so don't expect that to go quickly. That is not a quick process, thread painting. All right, so for this one at the bottom, instead of going like staying at the bottom and then going to the top and bottom and top, I'm gonna go more like a ladder stitch. So I'm gonna go down to up and then up to down. I wouldn't do this if I'm doing a satin stitch, but just if I'm covering these lines, we're going to trade off going down to up, up to down. So it does make it look different on the back. I'll show you that. So it makes sort of like a little clear path here with the line. So much different than this. But remember, I did it this way up here because I needed to catch that toe catcher, that little blue thread here. Now it's all captured and down. But this one will look a little bit different on the back, but I'm using a lot less thread as well. So just different. If you want it to look consistent on the back though, I would just keep it the same stitch. This is just another way to do it. You know, I think I might do the yellow next. So in theory, I should do this little stinger. That's black, and the face and eyes are black, and these guys are black up here. But I don't really have any good stitches to weave that in. So I think I might do the yellow first, and then I'll just get a few of those stitches. And those last little black stitches in last. I think that'll be fine. That sounds like a plan. I was kind of like planning my next step or kind of mapping out where I'm going to go next with embroidery. So that's my next plan. I got some stitching to do on here yet though. I need to do that top and bottom line yet. Yep, this is a happy little bee. Yay, I'm excited for our Saturday stitch along. That'll be so fun. Oh, so Judith, it's a free pattern, and I will. So Judith is asking, what about the squirrel embroidery? I haven't ordered that one yet. I sent it out a couple days ago or a week or so ago as a free pattern in my emails. So I sent it out to everyone on my email list, the free pattern. I will actually post it on my website, still for free. And oops, I hit you guys here. I'll post it for free there, and I'll also send another email with it, so you'll be able to get it. So I think I'm going to do a stitch along, a live stitch along on Saturday on YouTube. So it'll be on YouTube instead. I'm kind of testing out YouTube as a live platform, but we'll stitch that up from beginning to end on YouTube. It's a little smaller design, so it won't take ages and ages. It'll still probably take a couple hours. Yep, Jennifer, it'll be this Saturday. I don't know what time yet. We're kind of making it up as we go right now. So I will look at times and stuff a little bit tonight and tomorrow, and I'll let you guys all know when that will be. Yeah, so if you did not get the squirrel, that free squirrel pattern in your email, I'll be sending it again, so it'll be in the email later. Ooh, you might be brave with the splendid sampler. Oh, the Be Brave bee for the matching pillowcase. Oh, that'd be sweet. Yeah, that's right. We did a bee pattern as a free pattern for the Splendid Sampler one. That's a cute one. That would be fun to stitch up again. Judith, you can use whatever colors you want. I don't even think I specified any colors in it. It's a little bit of an older pattern. I don't even know if I have actual. I don't think I even have a color or stitch guide. It is just the black and white line art, so it totally leaves it up for grabs. On the cover, there's two different ways of doing it. Even in one, I don't think there's even outlines on everything. They just put the little furry tail on without the outlines. So we have opportunity to play around. So I think we will. They are all over the place in our neighborhood, though. Yeah, I'll look for that other bee pattern. It should still be on the Splendid Sampler page. The Splendid Sampler 1 page, but I know that's kind of a tough page to navigate a little bit. But yeah, I should try and find that guy again. That one's pretty fun. He's stitching up. It's a little bee that's stitching, doing some hand stitching on a little applique block. All right, I think we'll do this in 2 more stitches here. I'm doing kind of pretty big stitches across here, but I think that's fine. Ooh, you black squirrels in Kansas. We have 1 or 2 albino squirrels that kind of run around in a few of the neighborhoods around here. It'd be fun to do an albino squirrel, but I think we'll just do a gray, one of our little gray fellers that's around here. All right, maybe we'll use some fun thread. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look around. Oh, look, I accidentally did one where I went up to down and then up to down again. So I have 1 little extra stitch in there. That's fine. This is the back. It's still nice and clean. Oh, a friend of yours, your husband's raises bees. I would love to do that. They make beehives now that you can just, I think I talked about this, but you can just twist, like there's this thing and the honeycomb is like this and it'll shift apart and all the honey will come out of the cone, like the hexagon cone, and then you put it back up and the bees just build in it some more. So you can actually put a jug, like a jar underneath it, and the honey will just drip right out of it. I think it's called Flow, that beehive, that company that makes those, but I want one. I don't have I don't have any bees to do that with, but I want one anyway. Okay, let's flip this guy. All right, so I think I'm gonna move ahead to the chain stitch, and we'll do a little bit of chain stitching tonight before stopping. I'm hoping that we at least get this whole body done, and then maybe the head we'll do tomorrow. So this is yellow for the chain stitch, so I'm going to just grab kind of my general 24 inches or so. I like that length because I don't have to pull my head, I don't have to pull my arm back so far, and the thread is being used up faster than if you're using a ton of thread all at once, and that reduces the amount of times it has the friction of going through the fabric. So the thread lasts a little longer. You know, doesn't tear or knot up as much. You just gave your charming chevron quilt away as a wedding gift. Wow, Joe, that's amazing. That's a nice wedding gift. I still really like that quilt. That is the perfect lap quilt. Large, large, large lap size quilt. That's the nap on the couch quilt is what that is. My charming chevrons quilt. All right, our thread is ready to go. I think I'm going to weave in the backs of these stitches, and I'll start right here, and we'll go around that way. All right, there we are. Oh, Nolene, I think this one that I'm thinking of, that flow, like it's literally like if I'm gonna draw it out. So if these honeycombs, right, were designed like in plastic or something, so the bees kind of have a preformed shape that they make, but they're slit in the middle so that you can with a dial, you know, so these are filling up with honey, right? So there's a dial where one side will shift down and make like this hole. So then this one would be still here, and then this one will have shifted down. So you get like this kind of path where you've opened basically these gates, and then all the honey comes out and right into your jar, and then you just close it back up, and they're ready to go again. Just kind of crazy. Oh, Debbie, we did not do the llama notebook yet, and I want to get that on our list of stuff that we make. You know, now we've divided up our weeks by project, and the moment we finish one of these larger projects, I think that's going to be the next project. I'm literally still writing that pattern. It was actually from our book. I'm just trying to adjust my floss here a little bit. It's coming apart. It was in my book, but I'm adapting the book pattern so that you can make it with any size sketchbook or binder or whatever, this book cover. So I do actually still want to do that. Oh yay, Kathy! Got it in the newsletter. That's awesome. But yeah, so we haven't done the llama yet, but it is not forgotten. I do want to do that llama book cover with the zipper pouch as part of it. I'm hoping if we can get this YouTube thing working like I want, I'm hoping we'll be doing a whole lot more fun sewing together of projects like that. Oh, I want to do it though, and it's just not happening yet. All right, you guys, I'm going to do a chain stitch now. So I'm going to go in this direction. So I'm coming up right at the start, and I'm going to make a little kind of loop in the direction that my chain stitch is going to go. So around here. And then I'm going to put my needle exactly back in the same hole. So I'm in the same hole as we started there. All right, I'm just gonna go through a little. Let's get that loop kind of around that line. And then I'm gonna come back up about a stitch length away. Again, I'm doing like maybe a hair over an eighth of an inch or so. So like that, but now I'm like in this loop, right? So I'm gonna pull my thread here, and I'm still in that loop. And eventually that loop is gonna catch up to my thread, and there we go. That is a chain stitch. So if we're just making one chain stitch, we would just tack it down by making a tiny stitch on the other side. But since we want a row of chain stitches, I'm going to just continue. So I'm going to make that shape again here with my floss, just so I have like kind of that loop started. And I'm going to go in that same hole where I left off there, right in the middle of that loop. And you don't have to pull these super tight. If you pull them super tight, it'll look like just one fat stitch. If you leave it kind of loose, then you'll have that kind of teardrop shape. All right, so then before I get too far, I'm going to come back up right in the middle of that loopity-loop. All right, and then we pull it again, and there we go. So now we got our 2 stitches right there, and oh my God, they're cute. This is one of my favorite stitches just because I think it's so freaking adorable. All these little teardrop shapes. I think the real reason I really like it is because it reminds me of crocheting and knitting, and those are still my projects when I need to just completely zen out. I will just do like an easy knitting project, or I've been crocheting doilies. There's something about crocheting doilies. Well, I know what the something is. My grandma used to crochet tons and tons of these doilies, and I have her old needle and her pattern, and I just love making them. They take forever. They're completely ridiculous because who needs these intricate doilies? I don't even do anything with them. I just like making them. And I just like making them with different colored threads. I just love it. And these little chain stitches look exactly the same in crochet as they do in embroidery here. Oh, tatting is really pretty. So I have one experience with tatting. That would be a fun thing to learn how to do better. I have a tatting shuttle. Is it called a shuttle? It's probably called a shuttle. It looks like a shuttle. Let's call it a shuttle. If you know what it's called, let me know. But there's a special like shuttle that you use, and it's basically a way of tying knots, but it's a way of kind of tying slip knots. And it took me forever to understand. I got a kit for how to do it, and I was determined to learn how to do it just by reading the instructions, and I could not get it. I think I was trying to figure out these instructions for ages, and I'm like, nope, I'm going to figure it out from these written instructions, and I just couldn't. And then I think I watched some YouTube videos, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. It's this weird thing where you have to slip the thread past your fingers. It's totally a different feel than like crochet or knitting, working with a device like the shuttle or a needle or that sort of thing. You would love a tatting refresher. Yeah, that would be fun. That would be a fun thing to just give a go here one evening. I would definitely need to train myself a little bit before coming on, because it could be if I did it with you guys here, it's either you know how to do it or you don't, I feel like. So it's not something that I feel like I could kind of figure out as I go, because there is a technique to it. So I would have to figure out how to do it again, and then we could come on and do it. But that'd be something to try. Oh, so no, I'm just doing a normal chain stitch here, Robin, but that's a good bringing it up. So there's a reverse chain stitch that I love doing. It's actually easier than the traditional way that I'm doing here. What it gets rid of is like all this extra thread, like having to make it perfect, a big perfect loop. I will do that for the head here. I think that'd be a good idea. And actually, we could probably get that started. I think it might actually go faster. You know, one other thing, I don't know if there's any more chain stitching. No, there's no more chain stitching in this, oh, but maybe I'll do it now. So I wanted to show you quick. Chain stitching is one of those stitches that is easier, not easier, but it's one of those ones that is kind of easy to do out of the hoop. So if you don't have a hoop, let's just do the rest of this body without the hoop. There. So if you're not using a hoop and you're doing the chain stitch, you know, I still have to make kind of that loop here, but you can go in and out. So in and out in the same motion. So you can go in and out, and you can even wrap this thread around back of your needle right away, and then pull through. Oops, sorry, you guys, I keep moving yet. So there is something nice about doing a chain stitch without the hoop. So you do have to make sure that you don't pull your stitches too tight, because you know, you don't want your fabric to bunch together. But yeah, this is a nice way of doing it as well. Just in and out. Make sure that thread goes behind your needle. Yeah, so this is, you could definitely do it this way. Just shaping that a little bit. And I'm trying to get better at this. I'm trying to get more comfortable, I suppose, with stitching without a hoop, because I know a lot of people do it. But man, I'm telling you, I like my hoop. And I actually like the stabbing method. I'm doing the sewing method where I go in and out at the same time versus stabbing it, pulling it all the way through, and stabbing it and pulling it all the way through again with the needle. But, you know, it's just, that's what I've been doing forever, and that's what I used to and like. But some stitches like this are conducive for this sewing method, that in and out method here. All right, I'm going to put it back in the hoop just to show you this last little part so you can see a little bit better. But there we go. They look just as good doing it without, oh, you always are too tight with the chain stitch. Ooh, then that'd be something to practice a little, just making this super loose. It's counterintuitive, right? Because if you're stitching, you know, if you're hand stitching like a seam together for a quilt or on a shirt or something, you want those like nice and tight stitches, right? Because you're holding everything together. But with embroidery, you don't have to be so tight with it. You know, some stitches you on purpose want a little looser, but it's counterintuitive to make a loose stitch. And a chain stitch is definitely one of those ones that you want a little looser, just because then you get that nice teardrop shape. Like if I pull this one really, let's pull this one tight, for example. So if I'm pulling this really tight, there we go. Now it's so tight that it almost looks like one fat stitch. See, you can kind of see it, like look how this one looks compared to this one over here. This is like got that nice little bloop going, and this one is just looks like a fat stitch, which is totally fine. Actually, some of these other ones look like I pulled them a little tight as well. So I'm going to just loosen it up again, just kind of yank on that and pull the stitch again, and we'll just leave that nice and loop, or loose. We'll leave the loop loose. There we go. And that's something we'll definitely want to think about when we're doing all these petals for these flowers, these lazy daisy stitches, which are basically just the same thing. It's a single chain stitch is what we're going to do here. Those we want to make sure are the nice teardrop shape, so they look like petals versus just the stitches. Loose on the lazy daisies. Yep. We're going to leave those lazy daisy stitches lazy. I like that analogy. Someone said here once, When you're thinking about the lazy daisies, be lazy. Don't pull them tight. All right, so I'm going to finish this. If I don't stitch this down, then, there's nothing kind of holding this loop in. So what we need to do is just basically tack it down. I'm going to make a tiny stitch just on the other side of that loop, just on the other side. And that will be a tiny, tiny stitch that holds down that loop. So there we are. That is the last bit of the chain stitch. And I can tell where I started to get pretty tight here too. Let's see if I can loosen it up, average these stitches out a little bit. There we go. That's looking a little bit better. Cute! Oh my gosh. One of my favorite stitches for sure. I love it so much. All right, so I'm going to weave in my end because I don't have that much more floss. I probably could start the head, but I like starting and finishing a shape with one thread if I can for chain stitch. So I think we're getting a little late tonight. So tomorrow, what I'll show you is how to do the reverse chain stitch. So that's kind of like doing this, but backwards. It's as if we started here and went this way. And made the shapes going this direction. So we're going to actually start with our little anchor stitch, our little tiny stitch, and then do the chain stitches. So we'll do that for this head. I think you're going to really like it. It is, it's so much easier and it's kind of more fun. For me, it's fun because it feels like a new thing to me and I like that. But yeah, so this is the kind of the traditional way to do that, the stabbing method, and then the sewing method we did at the end. Same thing. And then we'll do the reverse chain stitch for the head, and we'll do that right away tomorrow. So I think tonight, let's just weave in the ends here. We'll finish our little thing of floss. And then tomorrow, for sure, we will finish up this bee, because we just have to go around the head there, and then, my thread's a little bunching up a little bit. And then just some of the other little details. Like his little face and the stinger and his little antennas. And so tomorrow we'll be doing that reverse chain stitch, and we'll be doing some French knots too. Oh, awesome, Jessica! I'm happy I can help. If any of you guys have questions ever on what I'm doing, or if I say some term that you don't know what I'm talking about, please don't hesitate to ask. I try and do my best to not completely go full on jargon and trying to explain like what everything means along the way. But if I miss something, then for sure ask. All right, there we are, looking cute. Got lots of color happening so far. So awesome, you guys. I think we'll call it an evening there, and I'm gonna flip you around. All right. So thanks again, everyone, for joining me. Here is how far we got tonight. It doesn't look like much, but it's going to start speeding along, I think, as we get going. It's going to look like we have a lot done once we have this bee, the cute little center bee, finished. Yeah, I'm liking it. We're cruising here. I'm hoping that we can get this done by the end of the week. We'll see how that goes. So thank you guys. I will get this up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies. And again, I'm going to plan that Saturday stitch along, live stitch along on YouTube. So now is the time to hit subscribe, and then that little bell that's next to the subscribe, that's the follow button. That way you'll know, you'll be all set. You'll be all set up to start joining in. And I will give instructions on how we'll do it and how the chat works, and I'll also resend that free pattern of the squirrel, and that's what we'll be stitching. So more info on that coming up, because we just kind of made it all up just now, but that is the plan, to do a stitch along on Saturday. And also, I will be going to the office tomorrow. Again, I have no contact with anyone along the way there or back at all, so I won't be interacting with anybody, but I will be shipping orders, and I don't know how much longer. We'll see how long I do that. So I did do another big flash sale that's going on till about noon tomorrow. when I'm starting to pack the orders. So the flash sale is for 50% off our lion embroidery kit. So be sure to check that out. It is already, the 50% off is already taken off. So all you have to do is just add it to your cart. It's done. So that is through tomorrow at noonish. So thank you guys, and thanks for your support, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great evening. Good night.